Hello, everyone. Um, Today, I want to come and discuss the topic of stereotypes. And I just want to tell you if you're stereotyping people, that please stop. You know, if you can, if you can remember, Martin Luther King, one of his great sayings was, judge me off the content of my character, not the color of my skin. And I'm reason I'm bringing this up because I just had an incident today. You know, with one of my son's teachers, whatever. But he has this conversation with me. He has a conversation with me, and he assumes he's just one of those people that assumes that because I'm African American and my kid is African American that my son doesn't have a father, or you know what I mean, or that he doesn't have. He assumes my son doesn't have a father figure, basically. And from the conversation we had today, he just basically was indirectly hitting me with a lot of like stereotypes. You know what I mean? Like he was assuming that my son didn't have any responsibility at home. He was assuming that I didn't know about work or that I could teach him about situations in work or whatever. And about the workplace and things like that. So he's trying to teach my son about dealing with difficult people in other places, or that if he's at the workplace, and the boss says do this, then he has to do this or whatever. The situation is that my son said that his friend, one of his friends, was crying when he came into the classroom. So he wanted to, and my son is a really nice person, really kind, and has a really big heart, and really is a big time friend person. So he sat down. The way it sounds is that he sat out of place. He was supposed to sit in another place, but he chose to sit by his friend and console his friend, instead of sitting in the right place. Now that is wrong. That's not what he was supposed to do as far as sitting in the wrong place or where he wasn't assigned to be. And as kids, we make as kids or as people, we do make decisions, based off of our heart sometimes. So he felt like choosing to help his friend or help them, they're feeling bad. He wanted to make them feel good. He felt that was more important than listening to the teacher at the time. You know, which like I told I told the teacher, that's not correct. And then if they were in the workplace, that they both would have gotten in trouble. But it just thing, man, that he just stereotyping. He's just stereotyping. He thinks that my son doesn't have a father in his life, even though I drop him off and pick him up every single day from school. So obviously he has an active father in his life. And he's just saying stuff about work, like I've worked my entire life, but the way he was saying it, like he was implying that I didn't, or assuming that I didn't, or that I wasn't, competent about work and ethic and work etiquette and all of those things. He was assuming those things, instead of coming at me a different way. He came at me like with the stereotypes. Okay, black people, these I'm telling you, like I had the conversation with him, so I can tell you his thought process, because I've heard him say other stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like he has a certain viewpoint on young black people. So his viewpoint is that probably most of them don't work, lazy. I'm talking about African Americans. This what I feel like this guy, his opinion was that black people are lazy, don't work, don't know what hard work is, don't know work ethic is, don't know how to be a father in their kid's life. I'm getting all of this stuff from the things he's saying. He's making assumptions. He's making the assumption that I don't know about work, that I don't, like I've been working since I was 15. You know what I mean? Like I've been working my whole life. I'm 32. I've been working since I was 15, and before that, I was doing chores and things like that to, build up character and responsibility and things like that. And I instill those things with my son as well. Parenting is not easy by any means. And I'm seeing that, shoot, it's just not easy, man. I was a good kid. I didn't get in much trouble. But the kids still have to be corrected. They still make mistakes and things like that. So basically, my whole point to this is that, judge a man off the content of his character, off his intellect, off of his conversation, off of his actions, not based off of the stereotypes that come from the skin tone or the skin complexion that the person has. So he made assumptions. He was making assumptions because I remember somebody was telling me that he was saying that Elijah, whatever he was, because I guess he had got in trouble at school or something like that, or he wasn't listening to that coach, and he was like, well, that's because of a lack of father in his life, and he didn't even know, that he didn't know my role in my son's life at all. So that just lets you know the type of mentality or, where his mental state is. I don't know if he's so much coming from a bad place either. It seemed like he coming from a more of a concerned place, but at the same time, you can't be assuming that young black kids that they don't have fathers. You can't be assuming that the black fathers, African American fathers, don't work and don't know what hard work is and all of those things. And I've been a hard worker my whole life, man. My grandmother had a master's in psychology, a master's degree in psychology. I come from intelligent family. I come from intelligent people. We're not habitual lawbreakers and all. We got our folks. We got our folks. That's done got in a little trouble. Whose family hasn't? But we're a good family. We smart, intelligent, hardworking people. So I just hate that people spend their time, living off of assumptions and stereotypes. So if you've been doing that, my suggestion just is to stop doing that. Stop being the person who gives all the stereotypes or goes by all the stereotypes, and tries to get to know a person, instead of assuming that the person doesn't work. Why don't you say, I ask or something, you know what I mean? But don't just start trying to give me instructions and stuff on how to raise my kid and how to teach them work ethic and all those kind of things. If you're assuming that I don't know those things or that I don't work and all of those things, that's not cool, man. So I'm not too offended, because I know that that's what America has taught, and in the world, that's what the world has taught people, to think about African Americans, that we are all lazy, sell drugs, don't want to work, live off of welfare, food stamps, not intelligent, not seeking knowledge, not able to, be smart and intelligent, make intelligent decisions, not able to behave correctly, violent. We have so many stereotypes. We like the dark cloud of every race. It's really sad, I think about it, just like I just look at all of this stuff going on with all of these kids, getting choked out by the police and, on prom night and, people just being at the hospital. I'm talking about black people, black kids getting harassed by police officers and, it's happening all over the place. So it's all over the country. It's new cases of this every day. Seems like I'm seeing the video of it and stuff. A guy waiting in the hospital. He just got out of the hospital, waiting on his mom to come pick him up from the hospital. And the security is just constantly harassing him. Asking him why he's there. He's constantly saying, hey, I'm waiting for my mom to come pick me up. I just got out of the hospital. And, and then, then the actual police officer, not the security, the actual police officer comes over there and just tells the boy that he has to leave. He's like 17, no, what was he, like 18, 19? So he tells the little boy that he has to leave. And and so the little boy like, hey, I'm waiting for my mom. You gonna send me out, out there? You know what I mean? Like when I could be in here safe, basically. And so the police officer just straight up, once he, didn't want to go out, he wasn't fighting or anything. The police officer started grabbing the young man and then punched him in the face, dragged him to the ground, made him, fall on his face, so it's just, yeah. And then, I mean, I could just keep going and going and going. I mean, this is happening all over. They say a lady was sleeping a black lady was sleeping we just getting, now they just starting to call the police on us 24/7, the black people, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just insane, man. There is no equality in this country for black people, man. We're treated like criminals, man. We can be the most upright citizen, have the college degrees, have $1 million jobs. It doesn't matter, man. It does not matter, man. They still treat us like crap, man. It's really, really sad. It really, truly is. Like I say, man, I'm just disgusted that of the stereotypes, and I'm just it's just sad. I'm gonna do my best to be the best African American I can be. Be the best person I can be, but I'm just saying, be the best African American example I can be. You know what I'm saying? But it's just crazy. It's just sad, that they think that we all criminals and don't work and lazy and all that stuff, man. So we just have to fight that stigma before we even get to the job. Or, you know what I'm saying? We go into the job, so our interviewer is already looking at us like, okay, is he the lazy black guy, or is he the thug, the drug dealer, instead of coming in there with a clean slate and, okay, well, you know what I mean? Like, he's qualified, he knows how to do the job, he, has the work ethic. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't assume nothing good about us, so it's pretty sad. So we have to work 10 times harder just to get in any kind of door. But just wanted to talk to y'all about that, man. Please stop being, stereotypical. Stop. We are different, man. We are, black people are not criminals. We're not lazy. We're not violent. We're not any of those things. Just like every race has those capabilities, so do we. But that's not our definition of who we are as a people. We have so many hardworking people. We have so many law-abiding citizens. We have so many productive citizens with proper etiquette and citizenship and, all of those things, So, God bless, man. Just want to tell y'all, man, stop stereotyping people. Love y'all, man. Peace.